So many people missed it during the COVID situation. I saw so many people injecting themselves with a crazy substance, an experimental thing that they truly did not trust, but because they were afraid of what will happen if they do not take the vaccine. And you know very well that oppression takes a lot of forms. Sometimes, in order to convince the people, they bring some professors or some doctors or some people that have studied a lot in order to convince the masses. If you do not have factual data to contradict these people, you are screwed. And so they come up with a professor in an Oxford University or whatever, Washington University, whatever, that has carried on some kind of research. And he comes with a certain communication that you are not able to understand, twisted communication, twisted language with data that has been twisted to conform to the agenda that is trying to be pushed by the oppressive government. And this professor or doctor or whoever is going to stand in front of you and talk a bunch of trash, nonsense, and jargons. But you would not know that he is just talking nonsense, except you have studied and have factual data to disprove his position. And we can clearly see that during the COVID, most of the data that was being pushed by all these so-called learned people was completely not aligned with scientific research methods. However, they wanted to impose this data on people. This is a logical trick that many oppressors use that is called appealing to authority. It is easy for people who are unlearned in the society to trust so-called intellectuals, because intellectuals are usually highly esteemed in the society, and so people think that anything that comes out of the mouth of an intellectual is correct. And sometimes you even have these government intellectuals that are trying to oppress, in this case Christians, quoting from the Bible. I actually heard during that COVID time many government authorities all over the world quoting from the book of Romans 13 and saying, hey, Christians, you have been commanded to respect authorities. And the reason why they do that is because they understand that logical trick. They know that for Christians, the Bible stands as an authority. And so if you quote the Bible, a Christian must bow. If you are a Christian that does not read between the lines, you will be caught up in that trick. And you would think